Hello. Hello. Uh, Here comes another stream. Um, Welcome everyone. Last time, last time I left you, I was about 120th, and now, if we look at the leaderboard, I crept up to 112th. So there's lots of work to do, and we're going to play some normal today. We're going to play some normal games. Nothing changes. 7-point normal. Opponent rating over 2000. And we're there. We've already got an opponent. Wow. Okay. I chose this funky pukey board. 4-3, I played 2 down. So double 2, he needs to come up to the 3-point with this, because I'm threatening to make points in front of that back anchor. So the furthest up he can get, the better off he is. And then I rolled a 3-1 and I decided to unstack. So I'm in good shape after making my 4-point. He runs very quickly there. Actually. Yeah, probably okay. Now I can hit, but I can also just make the bar. Noting that I prefer to go in for a dynamic play, seeing that he's threatening to make his own bar or the 5-point, but I'm going to preserve some brain cells and not think too hard at the outset. Hi, Barack. I have seen, so we're in a good spot. We're a little bit of a favorite, just surveying. Obviously, I'm not going to double. The 3 is going to hit, and I suppose the 6 is going to come out. Yeah. If you manage to match with me, then definitely we can play. I think there's a chance it will happen if you click on the panel when I am. Now, anyway, back to this game. Is this a double? Could this be a double? My initial instinct was no. So even if we hit with a 1, it's not an absolute clincher. And we've got to come in, which is a bad thing. Let's say we just roll a 3-2. We're going to have 3 blots strewn about the board. So I'm going to go with my instinct. I'm far from certain. Oh, I didn't mean to double there. But it can't be that bad. I meant to roll. So, oh my god, and he passed. Well, obviously it's going to turn out to be a double, so my mistake. Anyway, I just wanted to see who we have as far as an opponent's concerned. 61 from Italia. So that was strange. I meant not to double, and I did double. And he passed. Feel I need some time to get into it. So 2-1, I'm just going to come up. He's going to point on me. No, nothing really better for me to do than just step out here. I think he's going to have to hit. Of course, he could make his own 5. So I could hit twice. I could play 13-5 with the remaining 2 of the 3 and then hit on the 2 point, which could be okay, but I think probably better off not to leave shots. Again, I'm far from certain. I'm just going to conserve. We'll have a look at it when I'm probably not going to play anywhere near perfectly in this session. It's just it's just an experiment. So he could have made the 1 point actually. But 4 is happy. 4 is happy just to come in, and now I don't have difficult decisions. And he shouldn't double. Well, 1 is going to make the 20. And we just wait it out. We just wait it out. My opponent is maybe, I suppose he's thinking of doubling, but he's thinking an awful long time. Okay, unusual that he didn't slot the 2 point with the 1. So still thinking. Do we like the board? Probably not. It was meant to go along with the template a bit. Be a bit spacey-wacy. This is interesting with the 6-4. Did he have an alternative? Usually you don't want to just leave the back checker exposed. This is a really bad roll. I have to keep the mid. Even if I could bring 2 down from the mid without leaving a shot, I might choose just to retain contact. But now, irrespective, I've got 2 blots on board, which are not going to be easy to put together. But 4-2 is a good roll, makes the more important point. The 6 is pretty much forced from the mid, obviously. And now I think I'm going to be passing. That's a huge gain for my opponent, clearly. Oh, he doesn't cube. Think he might not cube now if he didn't. Yeah. He's sort of, my read is that he thinks it's sort of too good. Still not cubing. Now I have to break my board even further. And it is more than comfortably too good now. He better not dare win a gammon, but I mean, it doesn't really make too much difference to the match winning chances, because there's a difference between 1 all and 2-1, my friend. Okay, well, I'm gonna stay, I think. Well, I'm definitely gonna stay. And it's come back to bite him in the culo. So quite a few thought I was going to hit there. I really did. So shall I just come in on the 2? Because oh, I hope I save the backgammon. I might save the gammon. It's all up in the air. I might save the gammon. Okay, what a weird game. Really, really weird. But I like the pace. He's taking his time. My 61-year-old Italian friend. Nosebleed gambler. So 6-1 for him, 6-1 for me, 5-3 for him. This is known territory. I think maybe he can hit there because this just sort of leads to a like an equalizing game, because I'm going to be able to use that checker now on the 7-point. But now, do I actually hit twice? Probably. I think so. Especially when he's got the gap that he's threatening to make if I let him have his full roll. Well, I think those were the plays. Okay. Nice 6-5. So I'm going to have to come up to the 23. I can't not have a 3-point board. So he should just point on me, I guess, because it's minimum shots. No, he should play 2 down. Oh, he'll... Okay. 1. Well. 1, 2, 3. I can hold the mid. Maybe I should. 1. If I don't, let's say I do this. He'll run with like 5-4, 5-3 quite happily. He doesn't really... He can play 5-4 from the 14 and 5-3, but I think he'll prefer to run and leave... I mean, roughly 9, something like 9 shots. It'll be 6, 5-3, double 4. Actually, it's not that many. So am I going to try and cater for that eventuality? I think so. All right. Dunno. My favorite saying on this channel, dunno. So it wouldn't have made a difference with 6-2. Now I've got all threes plus 1-2 plus 1-6 and 5-6. What is that? 17 shots? 15 shots? 16, 17 shots. But even after this, so it was silly to even think about doubling. The 7-point anchor there for the opponent is so strong. So we can just play this, leaving 3s, 1s, and 6s. We can play this, or this. I guess we're just going to play this. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer. You can still make an anchor if he hits, and the upside when he doesn't come in. I mean, I say it's a no-brainer. I don't know. It's not quite that, but... we could do the same. We could play 13-11. I don't think we want to get hit, but no, maybe. I mean, it's funny, he's not doubling. I don't love this. I'm far from sure. So now he's doubling. Yeah, my approach for this game has been way off. I mean, I should have been realizing that this is most likely going to be a pass. after the best play, hoping that this is the best play. So I should have realized that anyway, especially when he's 6 away. And I'm 6 away. I mean, you have to be a little bit more prudent. I think he should just split to the 7-point here. Can we have some likes? Let's get some likes. Okay, I don't think so. I don't think I would do that. So this is a tough little game. These rolls are quite easy. So he will, yeah, good, okay. Always remember Falafel used to say he knows that. He knows that one. So I shouldn't just copy what Falafel says. There you go. Arriba tarle, arriba, da 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 da. We got Blaine Armstrong. So we're a favourite. I hate to do this, but I think I'm going to have to go to the 2-point. But it might not. Okay, I'm just going to use the excuse that I'm low on time. I wonder who Blaine Armstrong could be. So 6-3, I'm going to slot. Okay, he played the 2 a bit quick. I think, actually, I looked at 8-6, but this is probably better. So either come in on the 22 and play 2-1. I do like to unstack the 2-point, so I'm going to do this. Problem is, maybe you could argue you're going to get attacked. But he's not desperate to use his 5s and 3s to hit you on the 22-point, I do believe. So what's he got? He's played a 3. Blaine Armstrong. I love the name. Trying to... I think the last character... Is it hiragana? The last character is De. The final one. I did learn it a little bit, but not very well. So I have to hit, but I've got a blotting board. How do you say nobody in Japanese? So yeah, I think I'm going to make my 3-point. Yoroshiku. What's I've forgotten. Jeez. And the last character is pronounced. Is it De? Okay. Hey, this is awkward. I feel I want to bring 2 down like this, but then just to leave a double shot like this. Or do I have to play safe? Maybe I do. This is really awkward next time. I don't think there's another 3 if I play 3 from the 18. I mean, I don't really see the logic of leaving a shot there, but I don't like the checker configuration here at all. So this leaves a double shot unless I play from the 6-point. So he should probably double. I'm going to play this. Is te. Yoroshiku. 1, 2, 3. I think this minimizes shots, but I'm not great at these. Plus all the consequences of being hit with, must. Wait, I've completely missaw the position. I thought he was in the air. I thought he was in the air. What am I doing? What am I doing, Jim? Okay, now I have to hit and leave 4 blots. This is kind of unpleasant, to say the least. Hi, Jim. My God. What? Okay, double 6 or something ridiculous. Okay, that plays. I mean, I'm gonna make the 7. I think I've completely lost the plot, but I mean, this is. If he hits me on the 18, I can just come in. Like so. And if I don't, it's not death. But this guy has some funny doubling ideas, so it's going to work out in my favor. I am all over the shop. Okay, so now comes the double, and he's only got a 4-point board. I mean, this is probably not a double. I always say that, but I don't think it is. Okay, let's not use too much more time. He's 2-1 up, so I mean, he shouldn't be doubling. Not at all, but I mean, that's the general gist. I would just hit on the 19. I'm not sure what he's pausing about here. Really interesting. I mean, not that interesting. I mean, okay, to get the dilly, maybe to get the inelegant spare. So bad fan. I'm still more than in this game. So if it was a double, it must have been a very, very easy take. Still only has like 4s and maybe something else to cover. And now I need to be thinking about recubing. Not now, but you know, I've got checker on the bar. That's if I'm on the bar, I'm a huge underdog. But if I come in, so no other 5. Now he's a favorite. He's got the 17 point. He can just run home, so I can't really do anything. He can scuttle. He's for the moment I've got 2 anchors holding him, but so I can do this, right? Of course. This leaves 11 sixes plus double 3 plus 4 2 plus 5 1. That leaves everything apart from double 2. But it doesn't leave 2 blots. The good news is I didn't get hit back. This is, again, pretty much forced. Can't really leave a shot. Not so bad to have to pick up the 6 point, get to cover the 5 point. Happy to roll anything that allows me not to leave a shot and get past, but double 3 is basically going to clinch it for him. What did we do wrong? Okay. Does anyone know the theoretical match equity of the score? Please enter it in the comments box. Okay, so I think I'm gonna think about cubing. I am gonna cube. I could come down with a 3 and duplicate the 6 for what that's worth. Maybe it is worth to be able to make the 10. So, you know, when you're down to 45 seconds, come out to the 14 to try and cover the 8 point. That's a common thing, and it works here. So I get to have a double shot. Prefer to make the 14 over the 10 points. It's all going to be a bit quick and violent now, with only 45. Well, he shouldn't come out. I don't think, because now I can play these checkers here on the 7 point, even on the 6 point, with impunity. And I've got to preserve 6s, but I can't resist making the 4. Maybe I shouldn't. I really have to preserve 6s to try not to leave a shot. What's he doing? What's he doing? Well, was that okay? Again, I'm not really seeing the ball very well, but did he have to? So now the best he can get is a direct shot. I'm very happy to save 6s and 5s. Anything just to reduce my chances of leaving a shot when he's got like a really good 5 point board. You know, even now, possible to do that. But I'm going to bring it in. I don't know why. And maybe even this is... So now 5-1 won't leave a shot, but it really costs you in the race if you end up... Okay, he's going to go, but I didn't take account of that, which is a bit silly. So avoiding accidents is going to be 4-3. Still going to be 4-3. I'm not worried. I ain't worried. I'm a little bit worried. I'm not worried anymore. So now we know. I think you. Not sure what you do with 3-2 at this score. I think he's right to run with the 6-4. So I'm going to do that just to duplicate the 3 he needs to cover. This could be a cube, but oh, he is. Okay. I'm really bad at these. I took like a 600 pass in another live stream. But if he doesn't hit, I mean, his winning chances can't be very high, that's for sure. All right. I get a little bit confused about the tape point here. I mean, it is a little bit higher, maybe. I hope I'm not misspeaking, than, let's say, a money game, but it's not low enough. It's not high enough to pass like an early cube like that, where I think the winning chances, although there are lots of gammons, his winning chances aren't very high. But it's looking good. Okay. Didn't see. I have no idea what he's doing. I feel like I will roll a 4. Yeah, I need to cement my... We all need to cement our conceptual understanding of this particular score. And we need to start doing it now. I got to try and make a board, a thing that he could have allowed him to make a run for it. Should he do something like that? My feeling is no. Like if he play, let's say he plays 2 down, I can just still hit and cover with 6-2 and 6-4, and know he'll have a return at a blocking board. Don't think he wants that. But okay. And it's not completely safe. 1, 2, 3, 4 for him after this. It's pretty safe now. Okay, upside is that if I don't hit, I should save the gammon. I think. It's close. I don't know what it is, but it's close. I'm not going to waste any pips. I think his cube was, I mean, it was definitely a cube. Oh my god, I'm going to get gammoned embarrassingly. 1, 2. Could be anything. Okay, not too bad. I felt I mean, why should I care? But I was all over the place. See if this actually opens. I need to move this. This board shouldn't be there. It should be there. Okay. And let's see where. Let's see whether what I said was right or whether it was complete nonsense. Let's move the Let's change the orientation of the checkers. So from the top, you can see the XG, lovely Casio. I like he got this play right, which I liked. After 4-3, you come up with double two. Shall I put the arrows on? So 3-1. It's actually close whether you play 39. I'm going to go a little bit more meticulously through this. I just feel like it. 5-2, you come down with 2. 5-2 for me is obvious. He ran with the 5-4. I wasn't sure. Actually, it's a big mistake. Although he'll be reasonably ahead in the race after running. But I guess I've just got too strong a front position. So he shouldn't do that. Very close between hitting or not. So let's not. Ah, yeah, right. This one. So with this 6-3, don't come out and give all the shots. I always do this just because I don't want to get stuck at the back. I will always find it difficult to make this play. But you don't want to give... Let's say you do this. You leave more shots, basically. You leave... You leave sixes as well. Okay, I played 3.71, which isn't very good. Yeah, you leave sixes that will hit from the 13 point. Whereas if you do this, you duplicate the one that your opponent needs to come in with. So better. It's a bit unintuitive actually, and on a higher analysis level, the difference gets bigger. So I almost didn't double this. I doubled this by mistake, in fact. But I was right. Something felt up when my opponent passed. But it's a bigger double than it is a take. Move on to the next game. So I'm 1-0 up. 5-1, 5-4. He hits. Funny that this move is not necessarily correct, the 2-1. That I should come in and just play 13-11. But the computer reverses it on a higher analysis level. So if you've just joined, I'm just going through a match I just played with Sarium. And of course he beat me, but we think we're going to guess that because I haven't really made that many mistakes yet, that I made a big mistake. We will see. 4-6 I should hit on the 2 point. Okay, fine. Double 5. Ah, he can just come into the 10 point and play 11-6. I wasn't paying attention to his moves, but yeah, it seems like a knee-jerk. I can see that he would want to hit there because it's like a knee-jerk thing. You get to make the anchor. Like you could even think about playing bar 20, 20-15 twice, and then playing 10-5 and thinking that you've made the right move. Which is what he did, sorry. But then you overlook the fact that you can just come around without hitting. So it's an unusual one. Hi, Joel. How are you doing? Okay, I shouldn't have actually left a shot here. You see, I should have just played to try and maybe. What is he going to leave me an indirect shot here? I don't think there's anything that's going to. So the idea with this is that you don't leave a blot on your board if your opponent is going to leave you a shot now. But I don't see what will. Small mistake from my opponent. And then he just didn't cube. So I'm just going to go scoot through these. He just didn't cube. No reason why that would be better, like to try and get me to pass. I just don't think he saw it. Eventually, oh, I should come out here actually with this 6-5. Green is a small mistake, so 15, but you know, it still can. And here I had this inkling I shouldn't come in on the 23. I had this inkling. I mean, I thought maybe if I do this, let's say he rolls a 4-1. This is just a random sequence that came into my head. If I might not get past. I might roll like double 3 or 2-1 or something. And I really need to save the gammon. It's a funny one. Anyway, he ended up winning the game. And it went 1-1. 3-2 is a beautiful roll. Okay, I conned myself into double hitting. I wonder if it's interesting whether the difference in equities gets bigger. It usually does on higher analysis levels. Never gets smaller, but it's looking like it's going to stay. It gets a little bit bigger, becomes red. So I double hit and I shouldn't. Then I had no game whatsoever really until I rolled the 5-4 here. So my double 4 was right, and coming down from the mid, it would be really bad. These things usually are. What do I mean by these things? When you release contact when you shouldn't, can make a big difference. But if I did the dice distribution thing, then probably show up that there's a big swing on certain numbers, like those that would allow him to get past if I cleared the mid. Anyhow, why am I going back? Because I lost the place. 6-2 is a joker for me, an anti-joker for him. I hit, wasn't good enough for anything. I covered. This 1-4 was no. There are 4 possible 3s, and they're not close. Oh, he made a mistake here, and then this was just a pass. So what? Yeah. Okay. We had another like 4-1 opening with a 3-4. I think we had it twice. He came down with that one. I don't know why he did that. I hit and covered. I came in and hit. Ah, okay. So this was a mistake. 13-8, 11-7. Just got to leave a triple shot. You got to do this. What am I doing? You got to do this. Leaving a triple shot. And not put a checker out of play like this. Do we ever learn? I mean, this is not news to me, but I'm still not confident enough to make the right play. There was a bit of a hitting contest here. I made the 3-point, which was nice. I could have actually hit. I didn't see this, and it's close according to the computer. I could have played 8-7 hit 6-1. So my instinct was right here, but I can't explain why. I mean, I can sort of explain, but I'm uncomfortable leaving the checker on the 18 point vulnerable. So I chose not to do this in the end. Chose to do what make a play that I think quite a few people would make. But again, it's like the 5-4. You can't. You got to have reservations when you're thinking of putting a checker out of play. But that's not going to be enough to make you make the right play. So maybe just I'll spend a little time, a bit more time here, just trying to. Well, I think if the idea is if you get missed on the 18 point, you've got a far better chance of bringing your checkers home, and that's conclusive. And I will leave the analysis there. 3-1, nothing else apart from leaving a double shot is possible or right. And then I made an oversight here. I thought my opponent was in the air. I thought I was hitting and covering, and then I got confused. That's embarrassing. I came in and hit. This was a crazy sequence of dice. Double one followed by double four. When did he cube? It was a huge, huge blunder. So I'm not going to look at his moves here. I'm going to quicken up a little bit, just see. Kind of coming to the end of the. I had no choice with his 2-1. This was kind of nice. All the moves were forced. I rolled some nice rolls, but unfortunately he rolled a double 3 and won the game. Then he went 4-1 up. This is quite a big double, and I was sort of uncertain about it. %61 winning chances. So I've produced a spreadsheet showing the difference in equities depending on scores. So for the same position, let's say I had this position, I would put this through for money and all the possible 7-point match scores where it is a double. And of course, you would find that if the score was 4-0 instead of 4-1, this would be a bigger double. And you get that kind of pattern. But what I found is that this score is 6 away, 3 away, is not the most sensitive score for the trailer to double at. So I'm a little bit surprised that it's such a strong cube. I've missed this move playing 2 down because he's got a blotting board. It's going to make everything's about being able to bring your checkers in home safely. A lot of it is about that. I thought he made a mistake by coming out, but it was not close. I mean, anything that's not bringing those checkers out is like a 40 mistake, or maybe bigger, 70. So sometimes you see what you want to see. I rolled double 6. I ended up winning this game. So here I shouldn't. It's a big mistake to keep a playable 5 other than the one on the 10 point. I suppose he's going to run from his 17-point anchor. Okay, nothing much to see here. This is the crucial one. It was a small pass. So I'm happy about that in a way. I kind of This is for me anyway, the most interesting decision. I'm 4 away and he's 3 away. So my first port of call is that um he should be a little bit more prudent. I mean, he should double, perhaps slightly less early than the money. But then what I'm not sure about is that I can't bring this up on the screen because we're only showing the window. But the the downside of letting my opponent win 2 points is quite bad for me. So reversing that kind of tendency where he should cube late, he should actually cube early. I see this in kind of very simple terms. The only way my brain can. Anyway, I pulled up the window, which you won't be able to see, showing the take points, and XG says here that without any gammons. So assuming that my opponent has like a bear-in position or a holding game position where he's bearing in, he's thinking of cubing me. XG says that my live cube. Can I get this up on the screen? My live cube percentage is. I suppose I can. Let's try it. Just gonna get this up because. There you go. That's all right. So this is what I'm looking at here. Live cube take point is 21.1 and dead cube is 35. So what are those figures? Well, dead cube is when if you're cubed, you never have an opportunity to recube. So that's if he cubes you in a position, basically a last roll position. Live cube is the opposite, where you have plenty of opportunity to recube. And in a position, say, where, let me close this, where he cubed here, I'm going to have plenty of opportunity to recube. So my take point is going to be somewhere closer to the 21% than the 35. It's going to be about like 24%. Now this is non-gammon adjusted. And if you look here, I've got 30.77%. So ask yourself, well, if I've got 30%, then why is it a pass? Well, you have to adjust for gammon. So if I get that box back up, and click off non-gammon adjusted, where are we? Now I've done it, yeah. It's all a bit tricky. Then the live cube goes up to 28.8%. And that would assume I have maximum leverage with the cube, but I obviously don't ever have maximum leverage. And so the take point is going to be roughly, let's say 31%, something like that. And I don't have that. Therefore, I have to pass. But if I just click back on non-gammon adjusted, let's just say that at best, my take point when my opponent's not winning gammons is quite high. It's like 24%. Bear in mind that take points for money usually, when the cube is reasonably live, are lower. They're about 22%. So there is a movement towards being a bit prudent when your opponent is actually leading the score and he cubes. I find the score really tricky. But if we could summarize, just be careful when your opponent cubes you in a late game stage and he's leading 4-3 to 7. you've got to be careful not to let him get to Crawford. And if anyone wants to say anything on that or correct me, please feel free to do so. Sorry about all this adjustment, because when you do this, oh, okay. Well, anyway, I think it's just about visible. Give me one sec. I just removed the template, which is why it's gone awry. Sorry. Uh, okay. Right. Okay. So 3 away, 4 away, 4 away, 3 away. Really interesting. So not an embarrassing pass by any means. And you know, if you're lucky and you manage not to get gammoned, you're happy you took. And your opponent is sad that he cubed in a way. There's a lot of turn. There's a lot of volatility. So I should have been. I should have been seeing in this sequence that I didn't have enough to take. That's what I should have been able to see or guess. And then with his 3-2, he should have actually played 2 down, leaving me all the shots. But I wasn't wrong, or I wasn't very wrong to leave 2 blocks in board before he did so. Welcome to Paul Swain, tuning in from the Western US, enjoying his morning coffee. Feel free to, chime in on 3 away, 4 away, take past considerations. But anyway, I was right to double slot, and yeah, it becomes right. It's interesting, this old BG game. It's still very much right for him to play 2 down. But you would say, well, why should it be right for me to double slot if it allows him to get his checkers home or try to with impunity? And I can't really articulate the answer very well. I kind of get it, but it's you just have to. And he gammoned me. I'm going to take a small break there. That was it. I got gammoned. You know, it's a silly game. I made a misplay, but I didn't play very well anyway. And and he didn't play very well. Let's be fair. I'm gonna just scoot off for a second. So don't go away. Back ASAP. Select font. Okay. Hi, welcome back. So we played one match and we lost, and we're going to play another one. Nothing more to say than that, really. So, cleverly, while I'm speaking, I'm clicking on the match panel, setting one up. Don't want speed. Shall I go for aggressive stake? And it's just matching up now. So if anyone like can share this with people or like let people know there's a stream or something, just get more people watching. That would be greatly appreciated. Oh, we got Paul. That's cheeky. That's amazing. You managed to match. So 4165. Pretty close matchup. Paul is 2334. But he's not quite as old as I am. But probably a sim. He's got lots of nice boards. I think maybe Paul's writing something in the chat box here. Ah, okay, yeah. Play well, Paul. So there's a few plays here. There's hit loose on the deuce, which I think I like, actually. Because if I come out to the 16, I leave him a 4 that allows him to unstack. So I'm going to go for this. My mic is... He must have rolled 5, 4, or 3, 6. I didn't see. So I'll step up with this guy. Really wanted to cover the guy on the 2-point. He makes the 11. I think being 3 pips up, this is mandatory. Make this. So sort of a mixed blessing, the 18-point. You have it out of necessity, but you know you're going to leave it. I suppose it's a bit like butterfly anchor. This is going to make it a lot easier for me to leave it. Notwithstanding other considerations, I'm not saying it's definitely wrong for him to do that. I mean, well, it is wrong. I don't know. It must have been a misclick. Because, and then last two, probably play 8 to 6. So my goal is to, well, would be to get my checkers off the 18-point, but I'm down in the race. Not sure what Paul is doing, whether he, okay. So I just slot the next best points in my board. I stay put because I'm down in the race, pretty much, give or take. Now it's a question of whether or not I bring 2 down. I don't know. I'm just going to say that I don't need to yet. I've still got checkers to play with, and only will relinquish my midpoint when I don't have any other play. So anything that leaves the spares on the 11 and 8, I think is good for Paul here, because he needs to keep them there. So to make sure he doesn't block. Or that's the consideration. But here he's still going to be able to play everything, I think, because he's got two spares on the 8-point. Now double 6 is like his pretty much his only blotting number, so I'm not gonna play in board and strengthen the board. I'm just going to play flexibly. The race is kind of close now. Very close. And now this kind of thing, I'm going to preserve, or am I? I think I still am going to do this. Most of his numbers aren't going to leave a shot. The only reason I had second thoughts is because some numbers will. Anything other than 6-1, though? Question mark. I didn't think so. So I think it's important for me to preserve those two spares in my outer board on the 10 and the 9 point, so I don't break. I'm not forced to break my 18 point when I don't want to. And happy again not to have to bring checkers in there, so that I retain some sixes at least, and maybe some fives in those checkers on the 10 and 7 point. Again, this kind of idea. This could be pushing it a little bit, but I think it's okay. Just keep it puts the two checkers in an awkward spot in the 7 point. Let's say I roll sixes now. They're going to go to the ace point, which is not good. But you know, I'm ahead in the race. This is the problem, and I've got a lot of pressure to vacate the 18 point. I don't think I had an opportunity to do so unless I missed it. So he's just going to leave minimum shots. I'm probably not even a favorite. I don't know. This is a huge number. And now when he comes in, the question is, can I double being so far up in the race? So it's really volatile. Of course, if I roll like a 5 or combination thereof, it's good. And then if I don't, like, some of the numbers get the checkers safe. 6-5 will actually, yeah, still get the checkers safe. Okay. I'll leave one shot. But I think he has to take. I mean, it's like pretty, like sort of a 50-50 position, as in, like, there are some good rolls for me, some bad rolls for me. It's not literally 50-50. You know, if I get this guy safe and then he misses the checker on the 18 point, so this I count as a good roll. Well, it all worked out for me in the end anyway. 1, 2. But I'm pretty sure he had to take. I could be wrong, but I think. Let me check this. Is Paul in the team for the McGreal Cup? I think he is. So Paul's done really well. And I'll be playing that. I think I'm going to stream. So we're playing that on October the 12th, I think, which is a Saturday and Sunday. This is possible, but just leaves shots anyway. So I think I have to hit. I could just do that. I mean, but this still kind of leaves shots, even though they're in board. Mm. So I have to fall back on this. Oh, and this is his best roll. And now I'm just going to look at, say, this, and this I would be passing anyway. I mean, I'm probably going to be passing, right? This might be a little bit more susceptible to taking, but I would still pass this because I trade what I trade for not being under the gun. I have to put myself back on the 24 locked in. I'm not sure which is better. I guess the first one loses more gammons. I mean, maybe we can do this and hope that he plays on. So I'll just click for this taking in time constraints. But he doesn't, so we pass. The game is getting a little bit messy. Oh, this is going to be a very, like a pretty powerful double. I suppose I have to take. It just looks a bit. I suppose with the combination of the being hit back and the powerful fan makes me feel like I want to pass. He will cube. I think I have to take. I got no checkers out of play. The worst that can happen, let's say, is not the very worst, but he points on me, and I can just make the 23 point. So the score is a consideration for sure, making it a stronger cube than it would be at an even score. But the fact that my checkers are all in pretty decent spots, I mean, arguably the one on the bar isn't. And he's got 5 open spots in his board. Let's see what happens. So even here he has to leave. I mean, doesn't have to do that actually. I like the fact that he's not. The 8 definitely has value. I mean, in some senses, let's say he hits. I wouldn't break the 8 like that, but let's say he plays 6 to 2. I bet he puts it on the board. Okay, he doesn't. There is some sense anyway in not switching there and playing 8-4-5-4. So 1 makes the 21. And I suppose we block him and we make the 11 rather than making the 4. Oh, I can just make this. It was an oversight. Of course I'm going to do that. Not because I'm like mad on a 4-3 back game, just because it's safe. So he does want to get off the 7 point here, that's for sure. Whether or not the other factors allow him to do that, I think probably yes. I don't love that. He's going to get stuck. I do think he's going to get stuck. Something like this looks logical, but whether or not, there's lots of plays. Like, to give yourself more play, you would want to play the 2 checkers from the 12 down to the 14. So that gives you like 6s to play from the 14, and 5s, and some 4s, and some 3s. But the race play dictates that you play checkers from the 7 point, so you don't get stuck. I don't think you really need to make your own bars, so I think you can. The priority is not to go 16 to 18, although it is more compact. It's a difficult play. I'm gonna make the best point. 5-4 is a great roll, so clearing either of his anchors there is really good for him. Again, I'm just going to leave that checker there. He probably will hit and just either play 16 to 20 or 11-15. Maybe better to get that crossed over than the other one. Downside to this is like big swing on this. The 6 is a very 4-6 is a roll that hits and escapes. Well, clearly I have to hit here. I think. Although it was dangerous, so he'll just should. No, he's not going to do that. I mean, of course, I got a better board, but he's got so many checkers to make that point if he hits loose. And my board, I'm surprised. Could that be right? I mean, this still leaves shots anyway. I think that was, yeah, pretty bad. I have to get off there. I'm just checking. Yeah, I would have come in and not hit. He would have been able to make his 21, his 4-point. So I think I'm happy to get a checker off the 22. I don't want to leave too many blots, but it could be. I don't necessarily want to play 13-12 and leave 6-3 and 4-5. Sorry, it was double 5. Just missing the position. So that's an amazing roll. I mean, it would have been good for him anyway, I suppose. So maybe it was better for me to get more shots on some of his other numbers. This is tricky. Like, let's say he rolls 2-5, he probably won't hit. So can I just leave it there? Yeah, I think so. And I think he shouldn't hit with 5-1. Maybe it will confuse him. But this he probably will hit. So I didn't have enough time to consider this roll. But actually, I'm not sure. I wonder whether he should. I mean, I'm not going to get gammon. Does this make it easier for him to come home? But now I come in on the 21. There is a little bit of danger. Yeah, I think 6-5 is better than 9-8. That's awkward for him. But he might have had the 4-point if he'd have played the harking back to the 1-5 that he had. 6-1 smooths out his position, so I have to go. Off the 22, off the 21. Well, interesting thing is if I come off the 21, then double two's better. That's one consideration. But I think also I released the checker that is most primed. I didn't really see that player. Probably right, because he's trailing. And big rewards, because now he gets to escape and cover the 21. And I'm in trouble. Just come closer. Coming out is fantastic. So I think it's pretty clear that I don't split because it's so many shots. And I'm just kind of playing gammon save in a way. Semi. Usually I would just play 3-2 without thinking, but now I'm thinking about it. If he gets his checker to the 10 point and I roll a 5-3, I don't want to blot him board. But it seems kind of bad not to slot there. Or even here, maybe I'd end up rolling a hit and cover number, and now I regret not having slotted. So does he have an alternative? He did. He could have stayed back. No, it was a pretty decent sequence, and now there's like 35%. Should be okay, but there are some gammons. But we should be okay. Let's not waste pips. You'll just make the make the bar. Even though I've got a 3-point board, now what do I do? Do I just split to the 22 and then play 13-9? Don't really want to put this checker on the 4-point. Don't want to give him free reign of the board and not split. So I think I'm going to split, but not like that. That was a misclick. And unstack. Got to be careful because of the 4-way, 5-way score and that he might want to cube, but I don't think this is quite cubable, so I can just about make a dynamic play without worrying too much about being blown off the board. So my throat is dry. He needs to hit twice to reduce shots. I think this is too many returns. But dare I say, whenever I suggest something, he does it. Of course, I know that he's not listening. I trust that, but it's funny that you get paranoid. So now I think just make the 8 and come out. He will point on me. I get to duplicate 3s if nothing else with that roll. I don't think he's got enough. But now it's just going to be a pass unless I roll double 4. Double 6 maybe. So 16 pips, getting attacked. Way too much. Happy to pass. Oh, tough game, eh? So you should just come down and split. And I can just, I didn't see this, but I can just about double. I think, well, it's probably more than a just about double, but it's a really easy take. Should I bring builders down? I think hitting an escaping and hitting a third checker is likely to be okay. I'm not saying that sarcastically. I mean, it's the genuine consideration the other play. And again, this double hit, which is okay, but I would have liked better. And then I suppose I have to cover the guy on the 2-point. Which leaves all those blots. But what can I do? He'll double hit. Feels like Paul's playing really well. So happy to come in. So 2 out, and then can he make the deuce? Does that make sense? Probably just bring 2 down, I would have thought. Look to get missed with a 2. If I anchor, it's not so bad for him. He gets hit. Do I put a checker on the 10-point? I think I do. Because I'm not sure. I'm going to do it. He's got a 1-point board. It didn't work out. We're back in the kind of same sort of position. I get to make the 10. I think it's important to do so. I don't like the checker stuck on the 20-point. I would like to get it off there. I would also like to get the checker off the 21 because it's primed more than the checker on the 20, but for the moment, I'm going to keep the anchor. Well, you see how much I needed to do here to win the game. So I'm 18 pips up. If I don't come off the anchor, what am I hoping for? Oh, maybe I can play 2 down actually. I didn't see that. Try and come off later. Ridiculous dancing on a 3-point board. Should he hit though? Should he hit? I don't know. Maybe. It's kind of dangerous, but I probably wouldn't. 1. Shall I leave it there? Shall I dangle it for him one more time? But then he might roll a hit and cover number. I am going to try and get it closer. This guy on the 20. I'm down to 40 seconds, but Paul's also low on time. So it's a good roll for Paul. He needs to come to the 7-point with the 4. He doesn't want to, but I think he needs to. It's kind of a resignation, but he's leading 4-2. Okay. Now he can definitely hit, and he will. Which is annoying. Not particularly good. I don't know if he should. Oh, he can cover and play 9 to 12. That looks good. Yikes. Do I make the 3 or just slot the 3? Or do neither? This is not necessarily right, but I'm trying to strengthen my board. And now I just need one good roll. There's 3 blots lying out there. I don't get it. He's a long way from claiming this game. Oh, I don't like that. Is he really going to do that? I don't know this. I'm so far behind. I really want to make the board. Maybe try and split later. I'm not worried about being recubed. Could have been bad what I did there. What choice has he got? So what does he leave? Does he leave anything? So 4 I'm happy to split. 5 come in. Yikes. If I don't come in, what's the cube action? If I do come in, what's the cube action? This is probably close to a redouble. I'm a long way down. My take point is still 15%. Okay, I'm going to pass. Not too sure about that one. Not too sure. Well, that's a nice roll. That's not terrible. I could have pointed on the 1 point. I did see it. Okay, no shots is always good. Well, the 2 has to be 8 to 6, unless I'm going to leave volunteer a shot, which I'm not going to do. Okay, anything that doesn't leave a shot is clearly good. It's gonna be difficult. Was that right? Maybe. Now he probably does need to leave them split. If he buttons up, I just jump right over him. Hi, Alex. Good morning. Paul has played solid for sure. We'll see. We'll see whether he pulled like a 2 out the bag. Didn't like one of his plays, but that's not gonna. It's not gonna push him over the edge. I get confused. Should I slot there when he hits? Well, I wasn't going to necessarily double anyway because he can't pass. So I'm looking for a spot where I will try and get him to pass when he should take, or take when he should pass. But let's not lose sight. I haven't cubed. Okay. I think I prefer to make the 11 point, but if I did make the 11, I would have to play 8 to 4, and I didn't want to do that, so I settled for the 9 point. And I need to leave one of these anchors on the 18 and 21. Maybe that was an okay time to do it, and now I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know what to do. Could this be right? Release the pressure a little bit, even though I'm behind in the race. That anchor on the 14 is still serving a purpose. Don't think he can make the bar here. It's just, he's not going to do it. He had plenty of time, and again, he can't do it. Okay. I'll settle for the 1 point. I don't want to leave shots. Again, he can't do it. He just plays 9 to 1. He's not going to do this. Or he might. Don't think I can leave the 14 point and give him shots. Now maybe he does do it. Because it's big when he gets missed. He's going to do it. He's not going to do that. Yeah. This could be a double. Let's see. Okay, I just wanted to give him a tough decision. If I hit and he's got 4 checkers out there and he fans, I don't know whether it's a clear pass or not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, same thing if I get a shot here, but oh my god. Oi. Nothing. Nada. Oh! Let's have a good old hearty breakdown of this game. Okay, nothing special by either of us, really. In fact, I'm very disappointed with this. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. And it is now opening. Oh, it's tiring doing all this talking and analyzing. Oh, what happened there? So we got the XG analysis on the board. Let's have a look. Let's go through. I thought Paul played really well. Ignore the PRs for the moment. I thought it started pretty simply and with easy enough decisions. I had this 6-1. I hit on the 2-point. It's relatively close. Let's go back to it when it's finished analyzing. He came out with the 3-6. We had this holding game. So Paul was thinking of bringing 4 checkers down. I didn't see that he had no checkers back. I mean, of course it was an option. I don't know what I was talking about, really. If he's ahead, it's definitely feasible to do that. The computer thinks that making the 9-point is best. These are tricky. Do you bring them all down in one go? Do you make landing spots? But the plays are really close. Oops. We want to bring that back in. This 4-2, I should have brought 2 down instead of making the 2-point. Because playing to the 2-point wastes pips, or potentially does. I see that now. Anyway, so this one the computer is questioning, actually. I don't think it's... Usually when it has a question mark, you see it's not analyzing. It means that it's reserving to dole out a huge blunder penalty to you. But I don't see that this is going to be... I played 8-3, 5-1. I can't see that it's going to be that bad. For example, here, the same idea is on this level of analysis is the top play, keeping a spare 6. Paul should have made the 1-point with this 5-4, preserving now, and I know he probably sees this, when he does this, when he rolls 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, he's now going to have to leave a block, whereas if he preserves the 8-point, he'll be able to play all those numbers apart from 6-1. So Paul's saying don't spare his feelings. There's no feelings to spare. Paul played really well. I had a feeling that he's a very good player. I think I've played Paul before. And the PR's not too much to be relied upon in one match. I'll just see where, I mean, the 5-4 was a small mistake. Then I doubled, which I thought was, of course, an easy take. A much bigger take than a pass, than a double. What did I do wrong here? Ah, it says I should just take more checkers off and leave the spare on the 5-point. I suppose the gammon's going to be close. 30% gammon, so it's worth doing that. I didn't see that at the time at all. So anyway, we moved on to, it says I played 3.7 something, 3.74. Paul played 4.94. 5-1. I was like, oh, I didn't want to do this, but I had to hit twice, which I did. Paul um, should have played on, but it was actually, this is unusual. It was a small play on with either of these two plays that I was considering, and both happened to be pretty much even. So I think I get, forgive me for if I'm wrong, people, the viewer count is going up and down all the time. It's not that many, but people coming back for the XG analysis, which is good. I mean, because you have the, the categorical answer from the computer, and you can put it through a high analysis level. Anyway, so Paul should have actually played on by a tiny margin, but didn't. This 4-1 after the 6-2, it's quite clear to hit on the 1 point, and 39 I think is a reasonably large difference. I mean, it's not going to affect your PR by that much, but just as a second roll, it's indicating that one is definitely better than the other. But it's unusual to, or it's uncomfortable, maybe that's a better adjective, to hit to have to hit on the 1 point and cause a rupture in your position that you're going to have to play from. And then I had this cube decision. Actually, it's pretty much same value cube as it is a take. So it's slightly small. On a higher analysis level, it's a slightly smaller double than it is a take. But I did take, so I'm happy with that. And just had a little bit of a tricky game to play, because when you've got multiple men back, there's lots of options. I should have made what, like I did the double anchor, but made the 4 point. But again, you get lots and lots of very close plays. Um, so is it worth paying attention to the fact that 2 or 3 moves are close, or that if you didn't make the right move, that you need to study the position? Yeah, potentially, because this will give you an idea of the competing values of, let's say, the 11 point here or the 4 point. You might get a sense when you're very good of oh, I think they could be quite close. And maybe that's the kind of idea you would get from looking through the XG analysis. So this double two Paul spent a long time on, and coming up to the 16 was right. I suggested coming up to the 16. And in fact, other plays are okay, like 39, 40 kind of errors, not terrible. But trying to get these men, the backmen home is the crucial factor. And oh, leaving a shot playing 13-9, which is hard to see. I suppose because I've only got a 1 point board and I'm not going to hit. Which is interesting. I wonder whether you saw that, Paul. I don't think you did. I mean, maybe you did. You would have seen a lot more having the decision yourself. 5-4, I would have made your play immediately and brought 2 down. But it's right again to leave the shot. I don't know if I understand this play at all, actually. What's the goal? What's the benefit of leaving a checker on the 13? So the computer wants to do this. But we'll wait for the analysis to higher analysis level to catch up. But it's actually on plus, it's actually a smallish mistake depending how you look at it. All plays leave so let's just check. This is the start. We've got two on the mid. All plays leave a spare on the 13 point. I could use dice distribution, but I will leave that to you, Alex. I can't show the window on the screen anyway because it's set to window capture, so you won't see it. It's too much of a faff. So 4-2, in fact, Paul shouldn't hit. I think I said he should, for what it's worth. I don't know. And then I had this 3-6. And I was like, should I hit? I got to hit, but it was dangerous and I wasn't sure. Then I managed to escape with a 5-3. So again, this is like you might spend time on this. Like you've got a double 4 to play here. Do you leave the checker on the 18 point? And lo and behold, it pretty much doesn't matter what you do. Like 15 plays are all within 11 millipoints of each other. Second one involves moving a checker from the 18. Now it becomes the top play. I mean, how do you decide whether or not to spend time on it? The problem with the human mind is that we like to just, or from my perspective, it's hard to really take a decision and like dedicate, oh, I know that this isn't important, dedicate a certain amount of time, even though lots of commentators have said, oh, you shouldn't take time on this. Not me, but people like to make sure they get everything right. That's a decent approach, I think, unless you're so good that you can allocate time. Now I've lost so that double 4 is just everything is whether or not you go from the 18 is moot or not moot. Either of those, which one I think is moot, as in it's debatable, as in it's not clear, as in it's ambiguous. And then I got some chances here, but I missed the shot. Oh, I know, I hit the shot. I came off the wrong 6. Pull hit back with 2. So with this 4-1, I should have left all the checkers split, but it looked very wrong to me. I wonder what you guys would have done here. So this is my play, and this is the right play. Leaving 9s, 10s, and 11s. But, you know, that's 11 shots, and you're not definitely going to get 2 blocks picked up. But I'm surprised, especially because he's trailing. And then, yeah, Paul had this. He played this quite quickly. He could have just left like a single shot. He could have stayed there. But the right idea was to go just to the 14 and leave 5s and 7s. And then next game. Yeah, no, I didn't pick up on this. Paul should split to the 21 point and play 2 down. Not play. Take advantage of my stripped 8 point and split. Not play 2 down. Yeah, I don't like that. Double 6. 4-2, I got the right play. Splitting, but not to the 20 point. Minor split to the 22. And Paul missed a cube here. Yeah, I thought it was me for a second. I can't remember. I think I might have said it wasn't a double. So game 5. This wasn't a big take at all. I thought it was. Or an easy take. Best by far to hit the third checker. And it kind of went wrong when he came in with the 4-1, even though it's not a joker, but it makes life difficult for me. And Paul, in fact, making the 2 point was better than 2 down. If anyone's joining, welcome. And this is just a review of a 7-pointer I just played on Galaxy with Paul Swain. Making the 2 point is better than going down to the bar, but the best play is just getting out, even though it sort of leaves more shots. I hit. Okay, it was better to come out with the 5 than to make the 10 point, but it's close. I didn't see this play to hit on the ace. I suppose because he's got the 18 point, and I don't think the attack is going to bear much fruit. But my play isn't even second, it's not third, it's the 6th best play. It was a little better to come off the anchor, but neither of those plays are in the top 3. I suppose looking at it now and seeing the computer analysis that he has a 1 point board, and I have some checkers on my 10 and 11 point to kind of continue to try and cover the 1 point and continue the closeout, the attempted closeout with, so it sort of makes sense. And the same mistake, I just didn't see this. And I should just play safe here. Again hitting on the ace. Now he's got 2 blots. Although I kind of lost a little bit of control, I was still reasonably doing reasonably well in this game, and he should make the 4. He played this quickly. I didn't see making the 4 point. 18, 12, 17, 11. Oh, he played to the 2 point. Okay, yeah, that can't be right. And then I should go for the split immediately. This I found really difficult. Why do I not want to split now? Because I really want to make the 4 point. And because I'm so far down in the race, so I can potentially I have better decent chances of holding my anchor, which has got to be a good thing. But top 3 plays are all 24-20. And this was a comfortable pass. I mean, it's close-ish, but But I don't know what. But it's not. It's not borderline, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. The take point is 15.82, and I had 14. So these were all easy plays. I got easy rolls. A little awkward with that 5-2. I had to play 8-1. I wasn't sold on this split by Paul, but I wasn't sure. But after I managed a point on him with a 4-3, I then started to question the viability of the split. So I won that game, went 6-3. Did I screw up? Yeah, I screwed up here. Let's just go straight. So I should make the 11. I was looking at coming off the 21 point here, but it's a little bit wrong. Oh, my play gets better on. That's funny. On 4-ply, it's an error, quite a big one, and now it's. It only makes a 15 millipoint difference. So 21-11 gets a lot better. That's. Is it interesting? Let me just put that back. I'll go, if I 4-ply these, put them back to 4-ply. Have to put that one back to 4-ply as well. Oh no, I'm wrong. So why did I? Maybe some of them were analyzed at a higher level and some weren't. So nothing changed. And then I had this 6-2. I didn't see I could hit and cover. Okay, that's. I didn't see that. And this is just really bad. So this is fine. I mean, I didn't see this. I'm not too sad about this. But this is bad because I did see it and I just rejected it. So what's going on here? Why do you have to hit and cover? Just because if you don't, you've got no chance. And if you do, you've still got an anchor. You don't mind he can hit you. So it will look like this after. I mean, it's easy to say now I can see the computer analysis, but you obviously can't get gammon because you're losing 3 away, 1 away post Crawford. Just gives you a chance. So that's a really bad play. Or just that's a genuine mistake. Let's not be too harsh. I mean, it's just a mistake. This is interesting. I should play to the 5 point. Yeah, it's the score, as Alex says. And then the computer thinks 4-3 is slightly better. This is just irrelevant, but come back to it. Correctly made the 1 point, even though I wanted to make the 3 points. Just thinking now whether I'll do one more. People seem to prefer the analysis than the actual match, which is surprising to me, because if you don't watch the match, then the analysis doesn't really mean much. But I'm pleased about that. I have to say, it's nice. Alex is making amusing comments. And that was it. I might take a little break and come back, or I might take a little break and just say bye-bye. But it's exhausting. It uses up a lot of energy, I have to say. So see how tired my eyes are. Taking a short break. There you go. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Alex. Thanks everyone for commenting. Um, I might be back for a one more. I think I've probably got time for one more, but just take a little rest. Like an old man. Break is over. One more. We're going to play. I've been instructed before I do anything to make a board amendment. The board is a little bit garish, so let's. Should we go for Earth? I'm going to play a 5-pointer. Yeah, so if anyone gets in there now, they will 5-point normal. They'll end up playing me, which is what you want. Thank you, Paul. Paul, don't forget. Can you please share this channel? I think it deserves more more airspace than it currently gets. Here we go, Nakayaman. Stayed in a hostel in Sapporo called Nakayamura. So, double three. Okay, make that and talk about Nakaya. What does Nakaya must mean something? It was called Ryokan. Oh no, maybe it was Nakamura. No, but I think it was Nakayamura. So do I leave? Do I leave a shot? I don't think I do. He's got pretty good 2-point board with a 4 prime. So I think the idea is to try and get missed. I wouldn't have got hit anyway. But there's a reasonable chance of making a point here with my current configuration. There you go. I could make the 2-point actually. We don't like the 5 checkers on the 8-point. That's really bad. But we're slowly putting together a position after the bad double 5. 3-1 is good. With the open 4-point and the checker on the 3-point misplaced and the 4 prime we can't cube. So but it won't let me click the roll button. Now I think it's pretty clear to slot it. I mean, we're going to just run out of time. So 3s and 6s desperately needed, but possible to roll a 6 or a 3. There you go. Again, similar position to the last one. I think before I rolled the 3 and had to slot, I don't think there's anywhere near enough. To cubing, and he rolls the 3 again, and now it's just going to be a pass or too good. I don't think this is too good. He's just going to have to cube me out. So he's 2042. Got to remember playing a 5-point match. Usually play 7s. Yeah, he'll make the anchor. I think the bar is forced, and then I think probably to the 10 rather than playing to the 18, because otherwise we leave fours as well. Okay, I can probably double. Now, should he take? Should he take? Should he take? Yes, I think so. Because his take point is low. 4 away, 5 away. In fact, I think it's like one of the lowest you can get in VG. So he had symmetrical positions, did we? Or not? Not quite. That checker there on the 21 could go to the 6, but I don't think. I don't think I'm going to do that. But then the third I'm going to play to the 8 point, and then do I come out? He's got 4 checkers in the mid. What I always look at is how many checkers he's got in the mid to see how effective it will be for him to hit whilst unstacking. We got my buddy Armando. Make the 1 was possible, but I don't think so. We'll see. Now I have to hit or I get hit. He just comes in and out. I think I can afford to make the bar. It's questionable whether he wants to hit. If I play to the 4 point, I have to play a kind of an ugly 1. But I'm not sure. I'm going to make the bar. I think he probably should make the 3, actually. So maybe it was right for me to make the bar. So being on the bar myself, I can't really do much. But I got a big advantage. Double 5, he will make the ace point. Puts him well back in the game. So do I come in on the 4 point? Duping the 2s? Probably yes. Because I'm so far up in the race and I don't want to prime myself. And it's not that dangerous to do this. Again, questionable whether he should hit. I don't know. Don't think it's going to be a double, but... But... Oh, if I anchor, I have to play 13-8. Wow. So is this possible? Definitely possible to do this. This has no future to it. I suppose this is also reasonable because it duplicates the 1 and it at least you safety up with the anchor. Let's have another look. This is too weird and dangerous. So maybe the normal play here. We'll have a look. You know, we're not going to play perfect, but far from it. So this play definitely worked after he rolls 6-5. Really balanced. I don't get to hit him, which is bad, and I have to play safe. He gets to escape. I get to make the 4 point board. He's down in the race. Should definitely make the 16. Can I go? I don't think so. Having a blocking board. He's got such good checker configuration to bury down on my head, so I don't think so. And if I had, I'd be behind a 5 prime. 1. So sometimes you just got to stay on the anchor. We'll see. Now I'm forced off. I've got a 5 prime, so I've got some defense. It's pretty much an obvious take, but let's just check it. Like with so many pips up, being pointed on like is death, but it's only the 5-2. Being pointed on without him leaving a shot. I mean, or that. But I suppose they would never. I was never going to get gammoned, so losing 2 points, I suppose not that much of a big deal. Oh. Could play 13-5. Note to self, could play 13-5. So probably a double. Like there's a lot of times when if I don't come in, I get gammoned anyway. If I roll like a 2-5, 4-3. Well, okay, so it's only 2-5, 4-3 that makes the 18, but there's other rolls like double 5. So I'm fairly confident this is a cube. A bizarre one. But just because you got the 5 point, as soon as I come in, I become a massive favourite. And when I don't, he's just going to gammon me. So, and his gammon value on a 2 cube is zilch. Okay, could play 6-5. Well, he was going to make the anchor anyway, so I'm in a pretty strong position, of course. Don't think it's worth hitting. What does he do with this? Maybe come out with both from the 4 point. Oh, this is better. If only I did what my opponents did. I think he just has to leave it there. Same thing, double hitting. Or not. Why did I do that so quickly? That was a bit dodge. Hmm. So I'm looking at. I mean, this leaves fewer shots, but it's obviously this as well. Oi. I'm now reconsidering whether could it be possible to do this. This is loads of shots. 2 3 3 3 4 3 2 5 3 4 2. Such a horrible roll. What a stinker. Don't know what he should do. I think it comes up to 23. I would love to make the 3 point. But I can't do it because then I leave shots. Ah, God, this is hideous. So again, I would like to make the 3. Can I? Possibly. Possibly. This just leaves a lot. But I got to gammon him. So I guess I got to go for it. Is that the play I made before? This is the sensible play. Can this win gammons anyway? Probably not. And then obviously this play, which probably leaves fewer shots. So 5s are duplicated. Fives are duplicated. What am I thinking? The whole point is I need to vocalize. Well, if he's going to fan anyway. One, two, three. I suppose 9 to 8 with the last. I don't know why. One, two, three. I think I've got to get them home. So leaving a 2-6. That's annoying. If I didn't thought about double 6, I wouldn't have necessarily put my checker on the 8 point. I guess. I mean, gammon percentage is probably just in my favor, but still important to take them off. So the 4-3 I was got a bit bogged down in, to say the least. Well, does the job. does the job. Okay, here we go. 4 3 3 3 1 double 3. Armando wants to see my 6-1. Yeah, I think that wasn't the mistake, if I could bet. So everything fine so far. I think I went a bit wrong with the last game. If I had to put my money on something, so both me and opponent playing perfectly at the start, and then nothing. In fact, my opponent outplayed me 5-7-7. So he was right to pass as well. Really good pass. And this, let's have a look. Okay, yeah, he was. You're right, Armando. But it's close. So no need for me to leave shots, even though he shouldn't hit. Why? Maybe because I don't get the guy safer next time. Let's say he just makes the 3-point. Maybe I roll a double 5 and don't get it safe. But that seems like a remote reason for not making the bar. So I gained in equity there actually by doing that, which is often why you make plays like this. Assuming you know they're not that bad. So anyway, he did hit. Should have come in on the 23-point here. Do I know this? I always look and think, do I know this? I don't think I do. I suppose one thing I see is if you do this, you have a better chance of getting at least one checker safe. Whereas if you do this, you get pointed on, you might fan, you might never get the second guy safe. Is that logical? I think so. Like you come in here, there are fewer pointing numbers on the guy on the 2-point. But also we just saw he doesn't want to break the anchor. So that's that's one of the reasons as well. So whether or not he should hit from the 20-point is really close. So in fact, my bar 28-4 is better than the play I actually made, which was bar 21-13-8. Let's just analyze these on a higher level. I don't know why I just discounted 6-1. It just looks really weak to me, but it holds the midpoint, I suppose. So interesting that the second play isn't making the 21-point at all. It's the one I thought about. Yeah, okay, I had 2 blocks. He should have played 13-11. It's a big mistake. This I do see now. It's easy enough for me to say now. Yeah, I'm so far up. And he's only got a 3-point board. So a big no double, a big joker. That was that, yeah. Oh, this wasn't a cube. I said I was confident it was, so I was wrong. it becomes a cube on plus plus. It's interesting. I wonder why. But it's like dead break even. Oh, okay. I was never going to see this play. This play is to hit both behind the anchor. That's not something I'm familiar with, really. Definitely can see hitting one, which is actually better than my play, I think. But we haven't got to, I don't think we've got to the big screw up. I should have hit with the two here. Just, I didn't see this play. I didn't see 2012. I just don't know why. Sometimes when I'm streaming. And then this was genuinely difficult. Okay, so I didn't screw up where I was least confident. But having said that, the play, it didn't make sense for me to break the bar to hit. So even though, what was wrong with this? So I missed the 6-2. I should just come in. That's just a genuine mistake that I don't know. I didn't want to leave those checkers kind of out there. I wanted to bring the guys furthest back in before. Funny, I've got 10 likes and 3 viewers. But thank you. I'll take the support. Appreciate it. You beauties. What else was there? Oh, this is a bad one. So the gammon was just a lot, really, in a way. I mean, it's not. It's 66%, but I think this is actually quite a difficult play. I'm going to go over this match. Just going to go back over it. I know I'm kind of gliding over it here. What was this? The same idea. Fine. I was playing really quickly there. Okay, so let's go back. And see if we talked about the double five. It made sense not to leave shots. All these plays were pretty much no-brainers. I won't check how far away it was from a cube because I'm pretty confident none of these were close to cubes, and this was actually close to takeable. Bear in mind, you know, 5 away, and an anchor, and he has to get past. If anyone can share, just share my channel or share the video, please. I beg you. So double six is close with the last 6. These are always tricky. The first 3 are obvious, and then the last one, how do you want to spend time on it? Do you just want to pick up your dice and not think? I need to cancel this rollout. There we go. But it's nice to be accurate, right? It's nice to something beautiful about being right, you know. So all this trashing PR is a bit over the top. All it is just playing the right play. What's wrong with that? It's hardly bad. I mean, I'll go for making the right play. To cancel all these. Rather than making the wrong play. And it's about knowing the right play as well and having that confidence. That's what's important. So it is slightly better to play round to the 10 point. Then come out with the last one. But it's hard to delineate. And then it was surprisingly, it's a pass. I mean, it's close-ish. I can't roll that out because I'm going to be wanting to plus some other stuff here. So then we're playing a 5-point match that's 4 away, 4 away. He's right to hit twice. You know, especially because it's a gammon on a 2 cube wins you the match kind of score. So Armando talked about making the 1 point and I dismissed it, but they're even on 4-ply. Let's see which wins. It looks like 1 point is winning. It is. And it's funny when it overturns, it's a tiny amount relatively, but it's a lot bigger than nothing. So the plays work dead even, and now there's an 18 millipoint difference. Just goes to show. So it better to make the 1 point. Bye, Matt. Thank you for watching, buddy. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to share. Get your family to subscribe. Your big Mexicano. Yeah. And you can see you can sort of see again with the benefit of the analysis why making the 1 point looks kind of nice. You've just strengthened your board, and you're not under any great hurry to do anything with the other checkers. This is the 6-1. It's tricky because he shouldn't hit anyway. Thank you. This one, just trying to make sure you get 1 blot safe rather than risk having the 2 blots exposed for too long. This I still like to duplicate the 1. I mean, if he rolls 5-1 after this, I suppose since he has to escape, he's not going to make the 5 point with some of his ones. So, meaning that if he's not going to be able to make the 5 point and he has to run with some of his ones, like 5-1, 4-1, 6-1, then you shouldn't give him the 1 that hits you. What are we looking at? Yes, I saw my opponent should play 13-11. And then I should just run here, which I see now, but for some reason didn't at the time, and that's what matters. I didn't see that this is a huge no double. So when your opponent doesn't have any gammon threats at 4 away, 4 away, well, the take point is really quite low for me. The window I've got up that you can't see, my take point, the live cube take point is 19.26%, it says. And the dead cube take point is 28.81. So it's going to be somewhere between closer to the live cube. Let's say, without explaining exactly what all that means, but let's say the take point is 21%. That's relatively low. And when your opponent doesn't have gammons, that's what your take point is. So therefore, the opponent should be a little bit more clinical about this and see that, yes, he's got a kind of a a dominating position, but he's never going to win a gammon. And of course, not all of his rolls are good, especially things with sixes. In other words, once your opponent knows that the white's take point here is like 21%, he can look at it with different eyes. But of course, he rolled like the best number. I should actually play 13-5. I don't know that, and I've never remembered this. So when you, according anyway to this copy of XG generated by this book rollout generated by Miran Tutan like a long time ago, but I think this is just what's logged in the book. $15,000 games, moves 3-ply, cube decisions, XG roller. I mean, that's probably likely to be correct. Anyway, so you actually play 13-5. Some people might know that already. And my double was fine. And then we kind of went through this stuff. Oh, his 6-4, what should he play? Should come out and make the 4 point. And then this 3-1 just and then I'm going to go. I think I really wanted to make this play where I made the 3 point. And the computer says it's the right play. And you just leave blots. But the worst that can happen is that your opponent rolls double 2, and then you're not in too much trouble. You've created a solid 3 point board, and you've unstacked your massive cactus brick on the 6 point. And that's it. All good. And then just before I go, like these bear off moves here. So where did we? That's fine. That's the bear in. We should play in and not leave a 6-2. So this is big. This is a big difference. And this is the start. I just took one off. And I think a lot of people would do this. In fact, on plus plus, the difference gets smaller. But my play wins fewer gammons, so that's probably why it's wrong. That's hard to believe, actually. It wins fewer gammons to take 63.7%. This wins 64. But you go for this weird, like stacking them up on the 3 point against the 2 point, because now if you roll a 3, you only leave a single block. Sorry, if you roll a 5-3 or a 6-3, you only leave a single block. But if you roll anything else, really, so if you roll anything with a 5, 6-5, 5-5, 5-4, you get to clear the 5 point. If you roll a 1, let's say you roll a 5-1, you get to clear the 5 point. But you don't leave anything. You don't leave 2 blots with any number. So I didn't see that in the time that I took to play it. And here, get with the program. So here, the right play is just to, again, stack them up. Similar thing, I mean, against the 2 point, it hasn't moved, and you're just going to take, not double block with the 3, but I guess you leave a shot with big doubles here, amongst other things. Here, double 6, double 5, double 4, all take 4 checkers off. That's one thing. Without looking at all the dice distribution, it's not possible to take into account all the swing rolls. All right. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, bye.